Hi friends, this is Archangel. One of the gazillions of reasons that it is unpleasant to awaken is because males look at life after the red pills as daunting. How can they possibly ever interact with others again? Do liberated males have to be jerks to everyone? Do they have to now live as suspicious, hate-mongering witch hunters? Can you ever simply enjoy the interactions of life, or must awakened males always be on guard? Well, yeah, this is a little more complicated. So the answer to those questions is yes and no. Yes, you must always be on guard to protect yourself, your worth, your sovereignty, because nobody else will. In a system that thrives off your toil and life force. Unfortunately, that is the cost of awakening. You must be constantly vigilant against the system and its players who are programmed to use you. Even if the people around you devalue, mock, and seek to use you out of ignorance, well, it's kind of like a famous man once said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." Likewise, some awakened males seek to reconcile the people with their programmed actions, and may even seek to forgive others, for they know not that they devalue males. Yet forgiveness does not bring resolution to male disposability. So, yes, you must now be on guard, and yes, it would be prudent for males to err on the side of suspicion and skepticism. But no, you do not have to be a witch-hunting jerk. And yes, you can take individual single exchanges and enjoy them, but do not turn them into romance or female exaltation. And knowing the difference, that takes skill. Damn, life as a human is complicated. All the emotions and feelings and the ego and uncertainty and fear. Ugh. However, it's even more hazardous and confusing being a devalued, depreciated, disparaged, disposable being who happens to have a Y chromosome. Yes, to the masses, you will be an outcast. Extremism, conspiracy stirring, hate-mongering, I have been accused of all. But then any male who points out how males are devalued is also accused of misogyny. Because how dare you speak up for man-beasts and take the attention away from the privileged vacuums society worships as the divine feminine? Despite assertions, I have not gone off the deep end. I understand the difference between righteous passion and overzealous fanaticism. I can sense fair and reasonable, and I can enjoy the smell of rain in the summer, or of a cool evening breeze, without seeking to find conspiracy or injustice within it somewhere. Still, we as awakened beings must tread a very fine line between pointing out injustice and peddling discord as a means of venting or revenge for injustices suffered at the hands of gynocentrism. Some males have awakened to their horrendous plight as unloved, uncared-for utilities, second in worth to females, who feel that they are somehow betraying their new brotherhood if they are nice to any female after having ingested the red pill. Many males are conflicted on the logistics of continuing to function in a co-ed world without being a Benedict Arnold to their sex if they secretly laugh and enjoy a conversation with a female. Many a male has confessed befuddlement over continued human interaction while simultaneously preserving allegiance to justice for a sex whom they now understand as used and abused and discarded when they are squeezed dry. Yep, life seems like a quandary for males who want to eradicate disposability yet are unable to ghost from society. So, my thing is this. In order to reach a point of equilibrium between the sexes, I speak a bit towards the intense side in order to overcompensate and pull people out of extreme gynocentric propaganda with the purpose that people awaken and hopefully society will come to rest in a neutral position of appreciation and value for both sexes. Yeah, I know this is wishful thinking, for as long as humans develop in utero, and as long as said uterus is possessed by females, thus we will always be a gynocentric species. Still, from an ideological point of view, I speak harsh truisms so that people will see reality and come to theologically rest in a position that is neither greater nor lesser than any other being. and because we are so female fanatical and favoring. Thus, I talk craziness in the opposite direction in order to bring the pendulum back to neutral. Many times when I am fabricating certain metal parts, I must bend the metal object to a point beyond where I desire it, because there will be some rebound effect. So if I want a metal piece to have a 45-degree angle, I bend it to 50 degrees so that after the rebound effect, it will come to rest in the 45-degree shape that I desire. And since I desire equity between the sexes, neither better nor worse than the other, I must talk beyond the point of equity to allow people to ingest, then rebound, and come to rest at the original place of intended equality that I desire for all beings. If I were to soft pedal things like many user-friendly validation-chasing males do, then we are still leaning towards female exaltation and male devaluation. That said, males, you can still have conversations with females. You can laugh and enjoy interactions. You do not have to grow into a jerk. You can smile and just be genuinely pleasant to all people. Male liberation is not about being a jerk to every set of breasts that walk by. It is about recognizing devaluation and refusing to enable or continue it. You simply remove yourself from situations where females can control you, such as sexual and romantic interactions. However, you do not have to live with hunched over shoulders because you are carrying so many chips on them. If you want to be friendly, and when a female starts to hurl insults or manipulate your interaction into utility usurpation, such as opening doors or paying for stuff, then you candidly excuse yourself from that interaction and let the blue pillars get saddled with the physical, emotional, and financial servitude that you, the awakened soldier, now turn your back on. You have to know that line between being a warrior and being a witch hunter. Most females fit the template of everything that male spaces preach about, and the predictability is accurate to the point that we can generalize. We don't have to embellish or make up numbers to propagate male welfare. It's already out there. But you have to play everything by ear and know when to be nice and genuine and when to tell chicks to piss off. Male inequity is my calling, to elucidate the injustice of male disposability to the world, but I do not ignore other injustices, such as animal or child abuse. So, yes, I acknowledge that crosses in life are bared by both sexes and all beings. Ladies, yes, I do acknowledge that some females have endured trespasses. Yes, I can see that some males have physically slighted females throughout history. Yes, I see that some females are sold into slavery, or made to wear cumbersome garments, or killed because of family honor. I do see that some females are horrifically circumcised in some remote parts of Africa, and that some unattractive or rebellious females are indeed marginalized or outcast from mainstream society. I do acknowledge these things, and I denounce all inequity. Anytime a person is trespassed against their will, it is wrong. I do acknowledge that some females have actually been raped, where they have been violently subdued, restrained, and criminally trespassed. And I do decry this as absolutely wrong and despicable. I detest the weakness of males that force themselves onto females, just as I abhor females that force ill onto males. For instance, yesterday I saw on Yahoo that a female, I believe in Africa, had her hands cut off by her husband because she could not bear him children. This was the supposition, and this pissed me off. How dare somebody trespass another person in such a fashion? This guy needs a serious smackdown. You see, this is how screwed up Homo sapiens really are. How is it even feasible that people feel that they can physically trespass others in such horrid fashions, such as this man, or the lady in California who cut off her husband's penis because he wanted a divorce, or for people to chuck puppies out a car window because they don't want them? How is this even fathomable or acceptable to any race? You see, I get irritated at all injustice, despite what people think of my messages, all of which I stand behind. This is not apologist backpedaling at all. However, I am fair and level-headed, and I question my messages and conclusions regarding the human animal daily, sometimes hourly. I am not out to solicit bigotry. I merely point out horrific bigotry already in progress in our advanced societies, and thus I seek to gird males with information that they may surround themselves with armor based upon established track records of gynocentrism. Gee, mosquitoes, they like to bite me. Okay, well, maybe I should wear long sleeves around them. Likewise, females like to use me for utility and then move on to the next one. Gee, maybe I shouldn't give them the opportunity. So, preaching female nature and the male plight is not prejudice. This is self-preparedness based upon established history. If you want to enjoy a smile or a friendly greeting from a female bank teller, then sure, enjoy the moment for what it is worth. But do not turn that into salvation and proof of female benevolence, and that all those misogynistic MGTOWs are totally off base about females. No, enjoy the moment, but do not plan your future off it. Indeed, I can enjoy a conversation with a female without getting all MGTOW on them. The other day, I was driving through my neighborhood, and a little 4 or 5-year-old girl on a bike stopped, gave me a big grin, and just waved as I drove by. And I simply thought, what a sweet little child. I did not immediately think, oh, that's a gold digger waiting to happen in about 20 years, though statistics might favor that assertion. I have many interactions with females during the course of my day via my job, and sometimes a female genuinely tries to communicate, and that is all I allow it to be, a verbal engagement that I may break at any time. I am in control of that interaction, and I can appreciate the connection of the moment. For example, today a female said something funny, and you know what I did? I laughed. I did not immediately think, yeah, what is this hooker trying to get out of me with her jokes? Last week, as I approached some double doors, my arms were full of bags. 2 females just ahead of me quickly rushed to the doors, and each one held a door open for me. It was like VIP service, 2 chicks holding open 2 doors for a single guy. And so you know what I did? I thanked them, and I thought how nice it was of them to do that for me. I didn't immediately discount their gesture and think, it's about time you start doing this stuff for guys. And then yesterday, I saw the same thing. 2 females were exiting a set of double doors, and they saw a man entering the building, so each one of them held open a door for the male coming into the building as they were both leaving the building. And as I watched this, I thought, damn, that is pretty cool. 2 females holding open doors for a single male. Yep, I like it. Females have done nice things for me, and I appreciate each kindness on its own merits. I can simply appreciate little things without subterfuge. You can enjoy some interactions, and you can be genuinely cordial in return, but you need to always have your radar on in order to know when predation approaches. Yes, females have their crosses to bear just like males in life, and I acknowledge female hardships, yet there is an imbalance in the crosses that either sex must bear. There is a world full of billions of people who speak for female welfare versus a paltry handful that even dare to speak up for males. And in light of this, and in the grand scheme of all things, males have it far worse off than females. So I fight for the underdog. But that does not mean I do not decry injustice against animals or females. I detest injustice of any form. Yes, females have hardships in life. Yes, females have emotional turmoil in life. Yes, some females have been treated ill around the world throughout time. Oh yes, females have done nice things for me. And yes, I have had many an enriching conversational exchange with females. I do not deny the hardships of being a creature in this tormented existence, whether human or animal. So, there it is. I admitted it. Some guys are jerks, and some women are mistreated. Some brunettes have more fun than blondes, and some justice and good karma actually does find its way to the good guys once in a while. I admit exceptions. I do not soften my stance of male devaluation nor disposability, but I recognize the torments that each individual has to carry in this life, regardless of race or sex. We all have demons, and thus in an earnest effort to keep my messages candidly graphic, yet true and valid, I must continually question and re-question everything about the sexes, about my observations, about consensual objective reality, about my personal agendas or biased filters, about society, our species, about everything, in order to keep from crossing the line from male warrior to witch hunter. I have to closely guard my messages to keep from becoming a runaway propaganda machine that spews hatred at others as some proxy revenge for mistreatment that I have received from females and society simply because of my anatomy. I have checked, rechecked, and continue to recheck my messages to make sure that they align with my current observations and experience. And guess what? They absolutely do. Everything I've stated has validity. In fact, I find that things are getting worse and worse for males and the male sex. More hatred, more abuse, more usury, more manipulation, more mockery, more defamation, more expendability is coming down the pipe for the male collective in the coming years. Which is sad on the one hand, because males will have to suffer further. Yet on the other hand, it helps my mission, which is to awaken males to the true state of their existence, where they are devalued and deemed disposable compared to the other half of the Homo sapien species. There is no male privilege. We exist in a place of female privilege. That's right, female privilege, where females are spared military draft or genital mutilation, or sentencing standards as rigid as that imposed upon males, where females receive all manner of assistance and subsistence from the government, a place where females can insult and physically abuse males, and they are protected from the consequences of their actions, a place where males die providing for females or protecting countries in conflict. Meanwhile, back home, females are complaining about a lack of chivalry, or how hard it is to be female and walk in heels, or put on makeup, or wait for the nail polish to dry. As this is going on, there is naught but self-loathing and usury in store for males. So yes, absolutely, be nice to others. Give people a genuine smile at the grocery store, or let some anonymous car in front of you at the construction merger point. Laugh with friends, laugh with family, laugh with females. Have a snow cone on a hot day. Look at the stars and feel the infinite grandeur and how small we really are compared to the cosmos. Yes, this includes females. Despite their uteruses and mammaries, and despite the fact that they are deities of the human species, even they are pathetically small and spatially insignificant compared to the totality of the cosmic sea. You do not have to treat every single interaction as poison upon the flanks of male welfare. However, that being said, most, meaning the majority of interactions with others, have gynocentric motivations at their core. So you do not have to be an angry, offensive jerk all the time, but do not be defensively naive. Most all humans, male and female, will defame and dispose of you, a male, when push comes to shove. The male plight that I relay to all is real, and it constitutes the overwhelming majority of all human interactions and societies and constructs. Guys, if you want to genuinely smile at another or enjoy the smile of another, go right ahead. Enjoy each interaction with another for any genuine merits that it may possess. But I stand fast and say that males cannot retain sovereignty and worth if they seek physical or emotional relations with females. You place yourself at risk with any romantic or sexual relation with any female. That has not changed, and you cannot live in the moment with sexual interactions and come away unscathed. Sexual interactions with females will always and forever carry a price tag. Still, if you want to talk, if you want to exchange pleasantries with a female in a store aisle, or go out to the movies with a group of friends, sure, enjoy the company of others, and laugh as often as possible. Laughter is the medicine for life. Live life actively, not passively, meaning actively eschew predation, not passively accept devaluation in exchange for fake validation. Just because females seek to use males for utility does not mean that I do not thank a female if she holds open a door for me. Because females manipulate males with sex, fragility, and motherhood, this does not mean that I dismiss everything that comes out of a female's mouth. If some anonymous female store clerk tells me that the time is 3:30 or that today's temperature is supposed to reach 85 degrees, then it probably is. And just because society uses, then discards males does not mean that I take out this outrage over injustice onto everyone that I see. Sometimes I simply and freely return the smile that some anonymous female gives me. Other times, I don't. It is prudent to understand the line between male welfare activism and McCarthyism. So, for those that think awakening is a sentence to isolation where you cannot innocently interact with another person ever again, don't despair. You do not have to disavow females of being pleasant or acknowledge them for something nice that they have done for you. You do not have to ignore the sweetness of a smile or the wave from a little girl. You can exist in the moment and enjoy the gestures. But do not take these singularities, these momentary occurrences, and try to paint the entire female sex with saintly attributes, who are now safe for you to intimately engage with your emotions, your finances, your sanity, your health, your welfare, your life. Yes, females have to try and survive in life just like males and every other creature out there. But remember that you are still devalued, you are still disposable, and when the ship sinks, you and your chromosome will most likely go down with it. You do not have to be a raving, froth-at-the-mouth, witch-hunting jerk. By all means, carpe diem. But if you think that you can plug back in to the Matrix and indulge in relationships with females once again, just remember that every guy who has been abused by a female, every guy who has been cleaned out by a female, every male who has been manipulated by any female, every guy who has ever been done wrong by any female, yeah, guess what? Once upon a time, she smiled real sweet at him, or said something funny in conversation, or made some nice gesture towards him. And I bet he remembers thinking, wow, she's different, when he first met her. And this made him think that she was not like the rest. And thus he let his guard down, and now, well, he has physical scars, psychological wounds, emotional damage, and court-ordered alimony, child support, and division of property, just because he took a momentary smile or interaction as evidence that she was different from all the rest. My brothers, be free and laugh, but understand the fine line between pleasantry and predation. My friends, stand with me, live free.